So friend, good morning. Today we have to discuss about the refrigeration. The definition of refrigeration may be defined as the process of achieving and maintaining a temperature below that of the surrounding, the aim being to cool some product or space to the required temperature. So according to the definition, the process of refrigeration means we have to decrease the temperature of the substance below the surrounding temperature. If we cool the temperature up to the surrounding temperature or above the surrounding temperature, then it is not called refrigeration. It is called cooling. So now we will discuss different processes, and based on the definition of refrigeration, we have to identify which one is a refrigeration process. So first we will take cooling of hot ingot from 1000 degrees Celsius to room temperature. Hot ingot means one metal piece which is being heated to 1000 degrees Celsius in a furnace. And now suppose we want to cool it to the room temperature. So from 1000 degrees Celsius to room temperature, say nowadays say it is the temperature 30 degrees Celsius. So is this process called refrigeration? Now we will discuss another, cooling of a pot of water by mixing it with a large block of ice. So you have to think it. And third is the cooling of human being using a ceiling fan. And next point we will discuss, next process, that is the cooling of a hot cup of coffee by leaving it on a table. Then cooling of water by mixing it with tap water, and cooling of water by creating vacuum over it. So first we will discuss the first process, that is the cooling of hot ingot from 1000 degrees Celsius to room temperature. So according to definition, if it is cooled up to the room temperature, then it is not called refrigeration process. It is called cooling, but it is not refrigeration because in according to definition it has to be cooled below the room temperature. So this first process is not refrigeration process. Second is cooling of a pot of water by mixing it with a large block of ice. Suppose there is a pot in which water is filled, and obviously when it is filled at the in the water at room temperature, then obviously the temperature of the water will be room temperature, surrounding temperature, and then we mix it with a large block of ice. And you know, at atmospheric temperature, what is the freezing point of ice? It is 0 degrees Celsius. So obviously the temperature of the ice is either 0 or less than 0. So when we mix it, then obviously the final temperature of the mixture will be less than the temperature of the surrounding. So this is a case of refrigeration process. Now coming to the third process, that is the cooling of a human being using a ceiling fan. So when a ceiling fan rotates, then it evaporates the uh, swe- uh, sweats of a human person. So by that we feel cooling, but our body temperature does not means reduces below the surrounding temperature. So this is also not the case of refrigeration. Now fourth process, cooling of a hot cup of coffee by leaving it on a table. So when we put hot cup of coffee on the table, and then what will happen? Its temperature will means decrease till it become the temperature of the surrounding. So this is also a case of cooling. It is not a case of refrigeration. And now process E, that is the cooling of hot water by mixing it with a tap water. When we mix hot water with a tap water, and obviously the temperature of the tap water is room temperature, that is the surrounding temperature. So when we mix two waters, one at a high temperature and another at a room temperature, so obviously the final temperature or the temperature of the mixture will be above surrounding temperature. So this is also not a case of refrigeration. Now coming to the last point, that is the cooling of water by creating vacuum over it. When we create vacuum on the water, then obviously what will happen? It will evaporate. It will evaporate. So from where it will take the heat? It will take heat from the water itself. So in this way, the temperature of the water decreases from the surrounding temperature. So we may assume that this is a case of refrigeration process. Now coming to the refrigeration, type of refrigeration, we can say there are two types of refrigeration process. One is natural and another is the artificial. So in natural we can say that refrigeration by ice means if we uh, take the cooling effect from ice, whether it is a solid ice, whether it is a ice freeze from water. So all these are the natural phenomena of refrigeration. And in the case of artificial, there are many mechanical means from by which we can get the refrigeration effect. And there are different systems which are being used. One is the air reference system, another is the vapor compression system, and third one is the vapor absorption system. All these reference systems are in your syllabus. So we will cover in detail. Now coming to the broad classification of refrigeration. So refrigeration can be classified as cyclic reference system, non-cyclic reference system, and other reference system. So in cyclic means this reference system works on a cycle. So one is air reference cycle, air reference system. It works on Bell-Coleman cycle. Then vapor compression cycle, vapor absorption cycle. Similarly, non-cyclic reference system, refrigeration using ice, refrigeration by evaporation, refrigeration using dry ice. Similarly, other reference system which are being used, thermoelectric reference system, steam jet reference system, vortex tube reference system, and magnetic refrigeration system. This is the broad classification of refrigerations. Now coming to the application. What are the applications of a refrigeration? Refrigeration generally used for manufacturing of ice. With the help of refrigeration system, we preserve our foods, medicine, and other perishable items. Similarly, refrigeration is also required for cooling in chemical process plant. Refrigeration is also used for liquidation of gases, and in air conditioning also we use refrigeration for the human comfort. So for refrigeration, we have to discuss about the reverse heat engine. As we have discussed in unit 2, that a heat engine is a device which is used to convert heat into work. So now if we reverse the heat engine, then it can act as a refrigerator or heat pump. So from here you can see this schematic diagram shows the reverse heat engine. So from here you can see that there is a reverse heat engine which works between two temperatures T2 and T1, and from here you can see that the temperature T2 is less than temperature T1. So our aim is to extract heat from a low temperature since T2 is at low temperature. So our aim is to extract heat Q2 from low temperature, and this is not possible according to the Clausius statement. Heat cannot be transferred from a low temperature reservoir to high temperature reservoir in a cyclic process. So how it will be possible that we transfer heat from Q2 to Q1? So with the help of work W, we are able to transfer heat Q2. So with this external work W, now heat is being transferred from low temperature and it is supplied to a temperature T1, and the amount of heat is Q1. So from first law of thermodynamics you can see that Q1 is equals to Q2 plus W, as the refrigeration is the process in which we have to maintain temperature of a system lower than the surrounding. So here the surrounding temperature, say it is T1, so and we have to maintain temperature T2. So in this way we are able to maintain temperature lower than the surrounding. So this is a reverse heat engine which with the help of which we can which can get the refrigeration effect. So from this reverse heat engine we can classify it as a refrigerator and heat pump. So now I change the name from reverse heat engine to refrigerator. So working is same. It is transferring heat from low temperature reservoir with the help of work W to a high temperature reservoir T1. So from here you can see that T1 is the temperature of heat reservoir maintained at high temperature, and T2 is the temperature of heat reservoir maintained at low temperature. So for refrigerator, if it is working as a refrigerator, so our desired effect is to maintenance of low temperature, that is T2, and this is possible only when we have to remove heat Q2 continuously. So desired effect is maintenance of low temperature, that is T2, and continuous removal of heat Q2, and amount of work required to extract this heat is from the first law of thermodynamics Q1 minus Q2. So this is the work required to help heat transfer from low temperature to high temperature. So as per the definition, coefficient of performance is the ratio of desired effect to the work, and in the case of refrigerator the desired effect is Q2 and work is W. So from here you can calculate the coefficient of performance as Q2 over Q1 minus Q2. So this is in the case of refrigerator. Now second case is heat pump. In some cases our aim is to heat the system above the surrounding temperature. So suppose this is a heat pump, surrounding temperature is T2 and our system temperature is T1. Since temperature of surrounding is lower than the system temperature, then obviously heat from this system will leaks to the surrounding, and it will again it will also means its temperature will again lower. So for maintaining this temperature T1 we have to continuously supply heat Q1, and this is possible only when we give some work to this heat pump, and with the help of this work some heat Q2 is extracted from a low temperature surrounding and supplied to a high temperature system. In this way the temperature of the system is maintained at T1. So here T1 is greater and T2 is lower. Similarly in this heat pump the desired effect is maintenance of high temperature T1, and this temperature is maintained only when we have to supply heat Q1 continuously. In this case also work required to transfer heat from low temperature to high temperature is Q1 minus Q2. From the first law of thermodynamics, cyclic integral Q equals to cyclic integral W. So we can calculate the coefficient of performance of heat pump. So as according to the definition, it is the ratio of desired effect to the work. So from here you can calculate Q1 over W or Q1 over Q1 minus Q2. Now relationship between refrigerator and heat pump. Since we know the COP of refrigerator equals to Q2 over Q1 minus Q2. So if we add 1 on both sides, left side also right side. So 1 plus COP refrigerator equals to Q2 over Q1 minus Q2 plus 1. So on simplification it becomes Q1 over Q1 minus Q2, and from the previous slide we have seen that Q1 over Q1 minus Q2 is the COP of a heat pump. So we can conclude that 1 plus COP refrigerator equals to COP heat pump. So this is the relationship of coefficient of performance of refrigerator and coefficient of performance of heat pump. It shows that refrigerator COP is always less by unity to the COP of a heat pump. Now coming to the refrigeration capacity and unit of refrigeration. Refrigeration capacity means what is the capacity of the system, how much heat it can extract from a low temperature to maintain that temperature of the system as T2. So this is the capacity, amount of heat extracted to maintain temperature of the system lower than the surrounding. This is called capacity, refrigeration capacity, and unit of refrigeration is ton, and this ton is defined as amount of heat required to melt 1 ton of ice from and at 0 degrees Celsius in 24 hours. Means if we have 1 ton of ice, then amount of heat required to, and this ice is at 0 degrees Celsius. So amount of heat required to melt 1 ton of ice from 0 degrees Celsius to 1 ton of water at 0 degree Celsius in 24 hours. So this is the definition of 1 ton of refrigeration. This is the unit. So this definition is given by ASHRAE, American Society for Heating and Refrigeration Engineers. So since the definition is given by ASHRAE, so in this they have taken ton as 1 US ton, and the value of 1 US ton is 2000 pounds. And we know value of 1 pound in kilogram, it is 0.453 kilogram, and latent heat of ice is 335 kilojoule per kilogram. So as per the definition, 1 ton of ice, 1 ton of refrigerant, we can also write it as a TR, tonnage of refrigeration. So 1 ton of refrigerant equals to mass is 2000 pound, so 2000 multiplied by 0.453. So in this way we converted 2000 pound into kilogram, and latent heat of ice is 335. Since this heat is required in 24 hours, so we have to divide it by 24. So the amount of heat required per day or per 24. If we divide it by 60, then it becomes amount of heat required to melt 1 ton of ice in minute. And further, if we divide it by 60, then it becomes amount of heat required per second. So 1 ton of refrigeration equals to 3.5 kilojoule per second, or 3.5 kilowatt, or in terms of kilojoule per minute, it is 210 kilojoule per minute. So this is the value of 1 ton of refrigeration. Thanks.